Have you ever been there? You're scrolling through a streaming service, there are hundreds of options, and you just give up and watch nothing at all. Well, that feeling, that paralysis you get from having way too much choice, it's actually a symptom of something much, much bigger. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden forces that are literally engineered to make us feel anxious and unhappy in an age that promised us everything. Let's see how deep this rabbit hole really goes.
So, does any of this sound familiar to you? You start a movie, but you can't help but wonder if there's something better to watch, so your attention just drifts. Or you send a message and you feel that little spike of anxiety, that knot in your stomach if you don't get a reply right away. Maybe you just meant to check your phone for a second, and then bam, an hour has completely vanished. These aren't just your own personal quirks, they're the shared symptoms of our time.
And here's what's absolutely crucial to understand. None of this is happening by accident. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It is the result of a very deliberate, carefully engineered system, one that's designed to capture the single most valuable commodity in the entire modern world, your attention.
Okay, so to get to the bottom of this, let's start with what's happening inside our own heads. We are living in an era of constant, non-stop stimulation, and it's fundamentally rewiring how we feel and how we act. This constant stimulation, it's created what we can call a modern condition. We get anxious over the smallest delays. We find ourselves losing motivation for big, long-term goals because they just don't offer that immediate reward. And maybe the biggest one of all, we've developed a total intolerance for boredom. Right, those quiet moments, that stillness, it can actually feel threatening to a brain that's been trained to expect a constant flood of new stuff.
So what's the engine that's driving all of this? Well, it's something called the dopamine economy. And to really get it, we need to clear up a major misunderstanding about a very famous chemical in our brains.
We hear it all the time, right? Dopamine is the happiness hormone, but that's a huge misconception. It's not really accurate. See, dopamine isn't about the feeling of pleasure itself. It's the powerful chemical of wanting. It's the motivation, the desire, the anticipation that drives you to seek out a reward. It's the engine of seeking, not the feeling of finding.
This distinction is so critical. Think of it this way. Pleasure is the destination. It's you actually eating that delicious meal. Dopamine, on the other hand, is the journey. It's the hunger, the craving, the motivation that gets you to the restaurant in the first place. And in our digital world, all the systems are designed to maximize that journey, to keep us on the road, perpetually wanting more. Honestly, the best analogy for how this all works is a slot machine. What makes a slot machine so addictive? It's the unpredictable reward. You pull the lever and you never know if you're going to get nothing or hit the jackpot. Digital media works the exact same way. You don't know which swipe of the screen is going to show you an amazing video or when that next notification for a like is going to pop up. This system of variable rewards keeps our dopamine circuits firing on all cylinders, and it keeps us completely hooked.
And this is the loop that traps us. It all starts with a simple stimulus, like the ping of a notification. Right away, your brain releases dopamine because it anticipates a social reward. That feeling drives you to take an action. You unlock your phone, and then you get the reward, a like on your photo. This whole cycle reinforces itself, making you even more likely to respond to the next ping, and the next one even faster.
Okay, so we're starting to understand our own brain chemistry. But now let's look at the external forces that are actively using this knowledge to shape our choices. This isn't just about psychology anymore. This is big business.
Welcome to the world of neuroeconomics. It's this fascinating field where neuroscience, psychology, and economics all collide. And it reveals a fundamental truth about our economy. The product isn't the app or the streaming service. The real product that's being bought and sold is your attention. And all these platforms are locked in a relentless war to capture and hold on to it.
So how do they do it?
Well, they exploit cognitive biases that we all have. Take the decoy effect. Ever notice at the movies how the medium popcorn seems like a fantastic deal, but only because it's placed next to a slightly smaller, almost the same price small popcorn? That small one is the decoy. Or what about the zero price effect, where the word free just makes us lose all sense of rationality? These aren't just clever marketing tricks. They are scientifically proven ways to guide your choices without you even knowing it's happening.
But why do these tricks seem to work so well on some of us and not as much on others? Well, the story doesn't stop with external manipulation. There's an even deeper layer here, our own biology. It turns out some of us might be literally hardwired to be more susceptible to these digital hooks.
There's this incredible new field called genoeconomics, and it's exploring the links between our genes and our economic decisions. What it's suggesting is that our predispositions for things like taking risks, saving money, and even our addictive behaviors can be traced, at least in part, all the way back to our DNA.
Now, this is a truly staggering finding from the research. Just let that sink in for a second. 2/3 of your preference for taking risks, whether it's with your money or in your life, could be encoded in your genome from birth. This suggests that how susceptible we are to the slot machine of social media isn't just a matter of willpower. It's deeply rooted in our biology.
And scientists are even pinpointing specific genes. Variations in dopamine receptor genes like DRD2 and DRD4 have been linked to everything from addiction and gambling all the way to higher levels of financial risk-taking. So your unique genetic makeup can actually affect how intensely your brain craves that next dopamine hit.
Okay, so we've got a system designed to manipulate our brain's reward circuits, and on top of that, we might have a genetic predisposition that makes us vulnerable. I know, it sounds pretty bleak, right? But the story does not end there. Because understanding the system is the absolute first step to reclaiming our own power.
You've probably heard the term dopamine detox, but the goal isn't really to get rid of dopamine. I mean, if you did that, you'd be completely unmotivated to do anything. The real goal is to re-educate your brain's reward system. It's about consciously choosing to find satisfaction in things that don't give you that instant hit, like reading a book, going for a long walk, or having a real deep conversation with someone.
So at the end of the day, this isn't a war against your own brain chemistry. You can't win that. It's about becoming a conscious manager of your own mind. It's about you deciding what is truly worthy of your attention and what gets to pull the lever on that powerful anticipation circuit in your brain.
The ultimate objective here, the prize we're all fighting for, is something called cognitive autonomy. It's the ability to control your own thoughts, to direct your own focus, and to make your own decisions, free from the constant, invisible nudges of the dopamine economy. It's about you being the driver, not the passenger, in your own life.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? In an age of infinite, algorithm-driven choice, the greatest challenge and the greatest freedom we have is to make choices that line up with our real, long-term goals, not just the next cheap dopamine thrill. It's about reclaiming your will from the endless cycle of wanting. So the next time you pick up your phone, just ask yourself, is this my choice, or is it the machine playing me?